This is a Math 1 lesson summary video for the lesson titled Connect the Dots. This is a develop understanding task. The purpose of this lesson is for students to develop an understanding of the value of the correlation coefficient. In this lesson, you're given a series of tables to start out with, and you create graphs, and then using technology, you calculate the correlation coefficient for the set of data. A correlation coefficient is a number between -1 and 1. So the closer the correlation coefficient gets to 1, the stronger it is in the positive direction. And the closer the correlation coefficient gets to -1, the stronger it is in the negative direction. If the correlation coefficient is 0, then there is no correlation between the variables. Let's take a look at some data. So in Desmos, I've gone ahead to save time and entered a data set here. To do that, once you open Desmos, you just go to desmos.com and you click on Start Graphing. You're going to add an item and insert a table, and then here you can insert your data. Once you have your data, you can take a look at your scatter plot. If the window is not where you like it so that you can see your scatter plot, then you can click on this wrench and make adjustments for the x-axis, x minimum, x maximum, y minimum, y maximum. All right, so to calculate the correlation coefficient, to see the relationship with our variables here, the correlation between our variables, what I need to do is I'm going to add an expression here. All right, I'm going to open the keypad. I'm going to go to Functions. Under Stats, I have CORR, which stands for correlation. And then I'm going to look carefully to see how I labeled my data in my table. This one is X1, Y1. So I'm going to type X1, and I just type the 1 and it automatically does the subscript, and then comma Y1. So it's pulling the data from this X list for my independent variable and Y1 for my dependent variable. So this number is 0.49655, and it is between -1 and +1. And I'm not surprised that it's positive because it looks like as X is increasing, Y is also increasing. But it's not very strong. This is a positive weak correlation. All right, let's look at another set of data. So I'm going to hide this for the moment by clicking this. So with this set of data, I am going to predict that I have a very strong positive correlation. So I'm going to push the plus, add an expression. And if this shows up in my list somewhere, I can always move it if I don't like where it goes. And this time I'm just going to type in CORR for correlation. Last time I looked it up using the keypad, but I can just type it directly in. And my variables here for the scatter plot are x3 and y3. So I'll type x3, y3. And it's 1, which is not surprising because that means that this is perfectly linear. Now let's take a look at another one. This one looks perfectly negative. Let's see if it's perfectly negative. CORR, and this is x2, y2. And look at that, -1. That is a perfectly linear negative correlation. If I change some of these values, you can see I'm making it a little less perfectly linear. I can see how this changes. So still pretty close. Let me put in a big number here. Let's see how that changed it even further away. Now I'm getting further away from -1 the more that I make this not as linear. Further away. And I'm making it weaker when I adjust these values. So to recap, strong negative correlation is really close to -1. Strong positive correlation, really close to +1. No correlation would be 0. So for correlation, positive correlation, when one variable increases, the other also increases. Negative correlation, when one variable increases, the other decreases. And then there's something called causation. That's when one variable causes the other. So let's look at a couple of examples. Flip-flop sales and ice cream sales. Now it might be true that an increase in flip-flop sales could happen at the same time as the increase in ice cream sales, but it would be inappropriate to assume that an increase of flip-flop sales would cause an increase in ice cream sales. So here we have a correlation, but not causation. Now, however, smoking and lung cancer, there have been plenty of studies and research that has shown that smoking can cause lung cancer. So this is a correlation and causation because smoking can cause lung cancer. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.